Hello and welcome to this session introducing NetApp FabricPool. My name is Gareth Loynes, I'm the lead engineer at S&S. We're going to take a look at the core features of FabricPool and also the enhancements that can be found in the recent ONTAP 9.8 release. So let's begin. NetApp all-flash FAS storage systems running ONTAP, shown here, are an extremely high performance, space efficient and fully featured group of storage arrays that form the foundation of many data centers. They have amazing data efficiencies. However, even with all the data efficiency features, the odds are a good proportion of your capacity could be marked as inactive or cold data, taking up valuable high performance all-flash storage space. This is where FabricPools can help. FabricPool uses tiering technology built into the ONTAP data management software to move inactive data to lower cost external capacity tier as objects. Once enabled, this is a seamless solution that's aimed at reducing your total cost of ownership, all the while preserving your existing file system structures. Extending your data to an external tier doesn't mean that you have to compromise on security. Locally, there are a variety of features enabled across your systems that can encrypt your data, either completely or on a per volume basis. Across the wire, be it internally or out to the public cloud, there's end-to-end TLS 1.2. AES 256 encryption is available at all levels. Depending on your object storage target, you could also use server-side encryption as well as carry over the client-side NetApp volume encryption. Now, I'm sure you're aware of how great the storage efficiencies are from the NetApp all-flash FAS and ONTAP 9 platform. Here's an important point to understand with regards to FabricPool in particular. The more efficient the local performance tier is, will result in making more efficient objects from those compressed, deduped and compacted original data blocks. So data efficiency no longer just means that you can fit more on your local flash tier, but it actually enhances the efficiency of the object store in order to reduce your ongoing capacity tier costs and improve your return on investment further. So, how does this all work? Well, thankfully, the mechanisms of FabricPool extend what is already great about NetApp ONTAP. A capacity tier is simply assigned to a storage aggregate. Once assigned, the policies that control FabricPool are managed on a per volume basis. Depending on your use case, there are 4 policies you can assign, with the default being none, which ensures that all data blocks within that volume remain on the performance tier. You could of course set the all policy if the focus was to minimize local performance storage usage and send all blocks to the slower object store. But the most popular options will no doubt be auto, whereby the temperature of the blocks are monitored and cooler blocks are sent to the object store, and the snapshot only option in a similar fashion sends cold NetApp snapshot blocks that are not shared by the active file system to the capacity tier. Here you can see a typical auto deployment. As data blocks are written, they are marked as hot. A temperature scan process runs regularly, and using a configurable number of days then decreases the temperature value of the relevant blocks over time until they become cold. The tiering scan process is also running in the background to collect up groups of the 4K blocks and package them up into 4 MB objects. Finally, these objects are moved to the capacity tier. Some interesting points to note. The default values are 2 days to mark inactive snapshot blocks as cold and 31 days to identify cold data blocks using the auto policy. Also, tiering only occurs once the aggregate is at more than 50% capacity used. Retrieving the data is also performed in a seamless manner by ONTAP. All retrieved cold data blocks are placed into the performance tier and marked as hot. Depending on the volume policy, these will then be auto-tiered back to cold if they remain unused again over the defined period of time. The entire 4 MB object does not need to be retrieved in full. The system can request from 4 to 256 kilobyte chunks, and once enough blocks have 0 references, either deleted or fully promoted, the object itself can be removed from the capacity object tier. There are some circumstances, however, whereby data blocks are not automatically retrieved and promoted back to hot. These include sequential read requests, requests from a volume set with the capacity tier focused all FabricPool policy, and finally if your local performance tier has reached over 90% capacity used. Throughout this presentation, we've discussed FabricPools alongside the NetApp all-flash FAS storage arrays. However, as of ONTAP 9.8, hybrid FAS storage arrays are also supported, as well as providing an enhanced temperature scanning algorithm that will prioritize client workloads over temperature scans. If your FabricPool requirements are quite modest, then the goodness in ONTAP 9.8 continues. You can now deploy a basic S3 object store using the ONTAP S3 feature that will allow you to repurpose existing FAS storage systems as capacity tiers. The best news is that the S3 license is free for all new and existing customers that have upgrade entitlements. If you would like a larger, more mature on-premise object store, then NetApp Storage Grid is still the preferred option at scale. In order to start using FabricPool, you don't need to disable any of the standard and optional features from the ONTAP data management platform that you may be using alongside it, such as SnapMirror replication, SnapLock for compliance, or any of the storage efficiency and decryption features shown here. And so, NetApp already had a great scale up and scale out story, but now we also have the ability to scale into either a private or a public object store, giving you the ability to seamlessly continue to scale your system to make the most of your investment in the primary storage tier, especially if the types of applications and datasets you use have a high churn rate, leaving you with a large amount of inactive data to deal with, all whilst maintaining access to the core features and efficiencies that are already part of the NetApp and ONTAP ecosystem. I do hope you found this FabricPool overview session useful. If you have a related project in mind or would like to know more, then please don't hesitate to ask a question or follow the links to get in touch with myself or a colleague to see how we can work together to help you build or enhance your data storage strategy. Goodbye and thanks for watching.